Hi, I'm Tiffany Fantasia, and this is my review for the second video, which was an online learning environment. Although this teacher was off to a rocky start, she was eventually able to recover. She used slides efficiently and kept them neat and easy to read. She gave different students turns to speak and praised them when they answered correctly. She incorporated games and activities that allowed students to move and engage, and this did actually create a very positive atmosphere. She even included a word pun, is important for a literacy rich environment. She also encouraged a growth mindset by checking with the students at the end of class to make sure that they knew where to go to get access to the information that they needed. So that was quite impressive. If I were going to give this teacher some feedback, the first thing I would say is that when greeting students, she might consider open ended questions. So instead of saying, "Are you nervous?" which sets the tone as being slightly negative, she could ask, "How are you doing?" And there are many other ways she could greet them, but this would just be one. The next thing would be that rather than asking the students, "Are you reading?" which seems a little bit accusatory, it might be better to say, "Do I have everyone's attention? We have a lot to do today, and I'm so excited to get into it. Are you?" If she would like to address the reading, like if it were a persistent problem in the class, then she might be able to say something like, "It looks like a few of you are reading. I'm so happy that you are such enthusiastic readers. Let's take this opportunity to put our books away so we can start class. At the end of class, I will keep 5 minutes, especially for us to discuss what we are each reading. Is that a good idea?" She also needs to ask more questions to gain consent and gauge willingness. For example, "Let's chat about that for 5 minutes at the end of class. Is that a good idea?" Or questions like, "Does anyone have a question?" The only time I found that she checked with the students to gauge their comprehension was at the end of class, which was a bit late. She commits a cardinal sin of complaining to her students about teaching. It's not the student's business. And if this really is a concern that a lot of students find her class boring, maybe she should look at what she's doing and change it. When a student actually compliments her class and says it's funny, she turns down the compliment, and this leads the class to a very low point. She does recover the class, but at no time does she ask if anyone needs a break or if their needs are met, if they need water, anything like that. All of the activities are teacher led. Even most of the activities are actually her asking questions and one student responding. Um, she could consider breaking them into smaller groups or pairs and letting them work together on things. The students didn't create anything, and even the game was her asking questions. And lastly, there didn't really seem to be class rules. Students talked over each other, and there didn't seem to be a rule about raising hands, or she didn't remind them. Even video cameras were not on, which makes it hard to create a sense of community or a positive learning environment.